That's what I was letting you know.
Yeah, man. You on that hot mic stuff.
People supposed to let you know, you know what I mean?
And Kevin Quality and Bobby Lee. Tickets at Mesa Art Center. Now broadcasting from the Radio Phoenix studios in downtown Phoenix. You're listening to KRDP, where the Valley comes to talk, sing, connect. KRDP, Apache Junction, Goldfield Ghost Town, Phoenix, 90.7 FM in the East Valley, and worldwide at listen, the number 2, KRDP.com, a service of Desert Soul Media. Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Desert Soul Media and its board of directors. Thank you for listening.
The NFL season is here. Can Pat Mahomes and his Chiefs repeat? Can Lamar Jackson get it to the big game? Can the Detroit Lions avoid a regress? All these questions and more can and will be answered this weekend during the first weekend of the NFL season. Fantasy managers, get your lineups ready. I got some tips that may help. The injury bug hit early with Marquise Hollywood Brown and others going down in the preseason. Prepare yourselves for the letdowns. Coach Prime has been firing on all cylinders at CBS and his Denver Post journalists. His Colorado Buffaloes avoided an upset from North Dakota this past weekend. How would they fare against Matt Rule's Huskers this weekend? We will talk about that and other games. We will also have our college and NFL picks for this weekend and much more.
Howdy, friends. This is Randy Taylor, Cherokee Cowboy, with today's segment of Word with a Champ for Native Voice One.
This is Word with a Champ. Here's Cherokee Cowboy, Randy Taylor.
Today, Word with a Champ is in Minot, North Dakota, enjoying the North Dakota State Fair. Our guest today is a young man that is carrying on a tradition, fighting bulls. A second generation, a young man from North Dakota. His dad is Dick Woodbury, celebrating his 51st birthday today. And he came to watch his son fight bulls, Leighton Woodbury. Hello, Leighton. Good to see you.
How are you, Randy? Thanks for having me.
It's all right. I'm glad you're here. How's your summer going?
It's been going good. Really busy, but we're staying healthy, and I'm just happy to be going up and down the road and doing what we love.
Fighting bulls. What an amazing thing to do in a world of tradition and future. I mean, fighting bulls for a living is not common.
No, it's not, and it's one of those things that is changing drastically, just like the buck and bull world has in the last 20 years. You know, the shots we take now and the bulls we fight now are way different than the bulls. I mean, they fought back in the 90s and stuff like that. So it's cool to get to carry on the tradition through our family, because my grandpa fought bulls, my dad fought bulls, and now I'm here fighting bulls and making a living out of it.
Well, to me, now, going back to look at the bulls, the ones they used in rodeo traditionally had been in the arena dozens, hundreds of times, where the Mexican fighting bulls are only out there a few times, and these major league bucking bulls, they don't want to fight them as much.
No, these major league bulls, they've been bucked so much as young calves and handled with such young calves that they feel the guy come off their back, and you got one pass with them, and if they don't get you, they're going out. I mean, that's just the way they are. If you're in the way, they're going to get a hold of you, but if not, they're just going to go out the out gate.
Now, you kind of play two different roles in the bullfighters only and the protection aspect. For someone that is not familiar, please share with us.
So there's two different kind of events I do. I do a protection bullfighting and I do freestyle bullfighting. Freestyle bullfight is with a Mexican fighting bull. It's just you and the bull in the arena for 60 seconds. You keep that bull engaged as much as possible, and you got 60 seconds to showcase your talent and what the bull does. You're based off of a 50-50 point scale. 50 points can go to the bull, 50 points go to you, and it's just like judge like a bull riding or any rough stock riding. And then you come to the protection side of things, where you're out there to protect the bull rider, and when he falls off, you're there to distract the bull and take the bull away from the guy and allow him to get time to get to his feet.
You've done an amazing job. I can't think of a creature on the planet more mean than a fighting bull. Think of a mad mama bear, a scorpion, a snake. These things come and keep on being aggressive.
Yeah, I really witnessed that last year in Vegas during the fight for 50,000. It was a 4-man bullfight, and I squared off the world champion bull of the year before, and this past year, Habanero of Hampshire Fight Bulls. And I mean, from the second I called to him, from the 20 seconds that I was on my feet making rounds with him, I mean, he was always in my back pocket, right there in my hip. And then all of a sudden, he ended up catching my leg, and I was underneath him for 13 seconds, just getting mashed around and thrown around. And it's just one of those things, like he said, I mean, you slip up on one of them bulls and it could cost you. And one wrong thing, I mean, it's simple. It's the difference between life and death.
Well, you're back tonight to serve this bull riding here at the North Dakota State Fair with everything you have. How do you overcome that fear of something like that?
It took me a little bit to kind of get that out of my system, that I was here to protect again instead of freestyle. It did mess with me in the mind a little bit. After taking a beating like that, you're just like, it really makes you come to and realize what could happen in this sport. But it took me about like just 1 or 2 more bulls after that, and then I was like, oh shoot, I'll be fine again. So I'm here tonight, and I get to protect these guys and get them on to their next one safe and sound, and I'm glad that they choose me to do that for them. So I'm just honored to be here again tonight and happy to be healthy.
We are honored to have you here as well, Leighton Woodbury, and I think the bull riders feel much better to look out in the arena and see someone of your nature and your talent. Thank you for your heart.
Thank you, Randy.
That's words of our champion, bullfighter, one of the best in the business from North Dakota, Leighton Woodbury.
Word of the Check is funded by the Four Bears Casino and Lodge, located near the beautiful Lake Sakakawea in Newtown, North Dakota, owned and operated by the Mandan Hidatsa in Arikara Nation. Justin Boot Company, handcrafted cowboy boots since 1879. South Point Hotel Casino and Spa, home to Indian National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. And by Wrangler, long live Cowboys.
Native Voice One, the Native American radio service.
And we're live, the Keep 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
We're on 90.7 FM, KRDP. It is the start of the NFL season as the Chiefs and the Ravens are playing right now, with the Ravens driving. It's 13-7 Chiefs, 13 seconds left in the first half. Ravens are second and goal at the 7-yard line, with Derrick Henry scoring the first touchdown of the season. Patrick Mahomes with the first passing touchdown, and Kansas City with 2 field goals. So it is right now 13-7.
Okay.
Key person that's out, Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, is out for the Chiefs. And how do you think this season is going to stack up, Sean?
I believe it's gonna be an awesome season. Last season, both you and I were correct with Detroit winning the NFC North. I don't know how that's gonna go this year because the Packers have gotten better. So we shall see. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But this is a matchup that we more than likely will see. We will see in the playoffs. And Lamar Jackson's trying to prove that he can win, like I said in the billboard, that he can win the big game. Derrick Henry definitely helps.
Right.
So we have to beware of that. Because it's just not going to be Lamar breaking those seconds. We got Derrick Henry coming out of that backfield, and defensive backs be making business decisions.
No, you're exactly right. And this is the rematch from the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
This is the banner game for Kansas City. They get their rings, they get their, banners usually.
Yeah.
Those teams win, but Baltimore has an axe to grind. They got revenge remember, they were the favorites going into that game at home, the number 1 seed. And, they don't go with their bread and butter. They don't run the ball.
Yeah.
Some key drop passes. So a lot of key things happened.
Yeah.
Wasn't supposed to happen in that AFC Championship game. But now, can they have this little sweet revenge on the opening night of the NFL?
Well, yeah, winning this game is cool and all, but man, you trade that in for the Super Bowl. I mean, they just really wet the bed last year. There's no excuses. You had everything the way you wanted to have it, and you didn't deliver. So, Lamar Jackson and the rest of the boys just have to look in the mirror and just be like, that was all on us.
And Baltimore is stopped with a field goal, so it's 13-10.
Oh, they couldn't get in.
Right before the first half, 3 seconds left, and yeah.
See, that's what I mean.
See what happens in the second half. Instead of scoring touchdowns, you score field goals.
Shannon Sharp says it best. He said when you kick your field goals and not scoring touchdowns, you're gonna lose. Like they needed a touchdown right there. It's a psychological thing. You punch it in, you go up 1 point, and then you go back there like, okay, yeah, we good. Like and I've been looking. Mark Andrews hasn't been involved in the offense. I mean, they need to get him going. So
exactly.
We shall see. We'll see what I forget the Baltimore's coach's name. Harbaugh. We see what Harbaugh got drawn up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the second half. As at the end of the first half of that game, 13-10, Kansas City, and going into some college football, as we have all the people going against Coach Prime in Colorado, as rumors speculating about what happened with the reporter that was kicked off the interviewing or reporting the Buffaloes in post game. You have pundits like Paul Feinbaum calling him irrelevant, and a lot of naysayers talking just all kinds of stuff. And it's funny because it happened just a week prior. Shedeur Sanders gets left off the preseason All-American list, so that's kind of like cannon fodder, and everyone's going back and forth. They do beat, win their first game.
Yeah.
Beating, I think it was Colorado State.
No, they beat North Dakota.
North Dakota State. The Division II.
No, Division 1A, Division 1AA.
1AA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
they changed it all up.
Yeah, right below Division 1A, right above Division 2.
Yeah, they've won like 8 championships over there. But
Yeah,
I mean,
they're actually pretty good against Division 1A teams. They actually have a winning record against them. So they're not bums.
and some quarterbacks came out of there.
Yeah, Trey Lance and Carson Wentz
came out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're formidable, but Colorado beats them. And
I want to say about 4 points, right?
Yeah.
4 points. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So George Sanders looked really good. What's his name? Travis Hunter. Looked amazing.
Heck of a game.
Amazing catch he had.
Joe Horn Jr. looked good too.
Yeah, and now they're gonna go up against Nebraska.
Yeah, the Cornhuskers. Mm-hmm.
Their old school Big 12 rival. Now that's again as Colorado moves to the Big 12 from the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see that game going? Because Nebraska does have a good quarterback over there as well.
Yeah, should be a good game. I suspect that Nebraska's going to win the games. The game's in Lincoln, right? Is in Nebraska.
Yes, it is.
I suspect that they're going to win. It's not going to be a blowout. I suspect that they're going to win, and Colorado will be 1-1. And then the firestorm will start with the post game things. I don't particularly like the banning journalists and things of that nature. I know with the CBS thing, Coach Prime was like, I believe, from what I read, he originally was a reporter, a black journalist that was on the story, but then CBS removed the black journalist from the story and put a white journalist on it, and Prime didn't like that. That's what I read. That was the issue with that. But then the one with the Cleveland Post was the guy wrote he called him the Bruce Lee of BS, called him a charlatan. Well, not a charlatan, but he called him
Yeah, he called them some weird
He
names,
called
some
them
old names that
old names and stuff like that. So
people don't even say anymore.
Yeah,
so
and,
I understand you forgot about what he said. But.
So that and I don't agree with. I get it that Prime doesn't want to answer the questions, but I don't agree with the University of Colorado banning that journalist because that sets a precedent. I don't believe in that. Also, I'm starting to see in the media now, like the athletes that's in the media, like Marcellus Wiley, I watch him sometimes. You know, he has this term called NARP, I think it stands for non-athletic, real person, and he said his daughter came up with that, or she heard it somewhere or whatever. I don't particularly like it because he considered Paul Feinbaum that. And then now when we get into name calling and when we get into like, oh, he's not relevant because he didn't play the sport. Now we're playing a dangerous game because they can easily say that you're not relevant because you didn't go to school for it. And this is a game that we don't need to play this game. Paul Feinbaum has been world renowned in what he does with college football. He's always giving Deion his props, Coach Prime his props and everything. He's just critiquing him. He's saying that Deion's coming off as a bully. Like he didn't say Deion was a bully. He's coming off as such. And it's almost like you can't critique these guys because the other athletes come in. Oh no, we're with what did Draymond call it? The new media.
Yeah.
Okay, like don't get me wrong. It's a lot of those podcasts I like the Knuckleheads. I like Rasheed Wallace and Tyler. I like that because you get a different aspect. Gil's Arena, you get a different aspect. But come on, we're sitting here like belittling journalists because they didn't play your sport or play it, so they can't talk about it. Now it's just getting ridiculous now.
Well, Nebraska's a 7-point favorite in that game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Colorado.
You gonna go Colorado?
Based off their offense and their defense. I mean, it's typical Big 12 defense. But I think they can outscore them. Nebraska does have a good quarterback in Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good quarterback.
Now,
But I think Colorado has more firepower than Nebraska right now.
when it comes to what is it about the Big 12 and defense? They never have
defense.
They never have defense. Like
Defense is optional in the Big 12. And you know what? With these teams, these new teams in the Big 12, as far as Arizona State, Colorado, Utah, I think it's going to be really good because you can have a lot of high-scoring games. Arizona, who's ranked 20th, you're not going to have defense, but you're going to have a lot of high-scoring games. BYU, who's now, BYU last season was independent. Now they're in the Big 12. So
yeah, I remember last year when USC played Colorado, they it was just like boom, they were just going back and forth. I remember that really high scoring game. So would you say the SEC is the league? That's the conference for defense? Did you say that?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Defense, offensive line, secondary, wide receivers. I mean that's the SEC.
Okay.
The Big 10 or big whatever they call it now, since it's like 18 teams. Should be called like the Big North or something. With Michigan, Ohio State, that's like usually running, but now it's like quarterback play, wide receiver play. I mean, Ohio State's damn near wide receiver now. What they're punching out into the league.
Okay.
So and plus LSU is another one with that's wide receiver U. But the thing is, when I was going back to the Big 12, I remember the Pac-12 used to have what's called Friday night or late night games, Friday night on ESPN, and they'd be some of the slugfest games you would see. Matter of fact, the Pac-12 after dark. I think the Big 12 is probably going to have some games like that where there's going to be some late night games and a lot of slugfest because you got West Coast teams over there, Arizona State, things of that nature, Utah, Colorado, playing late night games, and I think that's going to be something to watch. People are going to like it, Moving on to more college football. Some of the games last week, you had number 1 Georgia beating number 14 Clemson 34-3. Penn State beating West Virginia 34-12. Iowa blanking Illinois 40-0. Number 15 Tennessee beating Chattanooga 69-3. Number 17 Oklahoma beating South Dakota 44-20. Number 2 Ohio State beating Akron 52-6. Number 4 Texas beating Colorado State 52-0. Miami, number 19, beating Florida 41-17. Alabama beating Worcester 63-0. And Michigan, number 9, beating Fresno State 30-10. Arizona beating New Mexico 61-39. Oregon beating Idaho 24-14. And Ole Miss beating Fordham 76-0.
Oh, you said
That's a bunch of woodshed.
you said 76-0.
Yes.
Who was that
76-0.
again?
Against Fordham. They shouldn't even be playing Fordham. Fordham's, if I'm not mistaken, a Long Island school.
Yeah,
Long Island, New York.
Denzel Washington played for their basketball team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PJ Colesimo was the coach. It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh.
It's a small Division I school. Really
Right.
small.
Right. Oh. We gotta go to break. I'm right in my mouth. So
Yeah, you said that right in my mouth.
I'm right back with more Keep 1 Million Show.
Deserve. That's actually a good thing. Running your mouth,
Thank you for listening to KRDP. Each month, we incur many expenses to bring you this independent community radio voice, and we need your financial support.
Fordham is one of those schools that, like, you know, if you play ball, like, it was a girl, I didn't know her personally, but it was a girl that played ball. Yeah, she was good and everything, but she wasn't good enough to play major D1. You go to schools like Fordham, or,
Right.
like St. Joe's in Philly. They actually always fill the good basketball teams. But you get what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Small schools like that.
Fourth, if you're owner
I mean,
or
Jamel
artist
Nelson, and Delonte West went to
your
St.
company
Joe's.
can become a business
So
sponsor.
they have decently productive careers in
You
yeah.
can donate to KRDP.
Delonte
via
West
the
surprised
Fries
me.
Rewards
I didn't think
Partners
Delonte
program.
West surprised. I didn't think he was gonna be
When
that
joining
good.
the
Yeah.
Fries program, use code
Because they said he was 6'4" when he was in college, but he was really
to
6'2".
designate a portion of your food
But he
purchases
was
as
good.
a
He
donation
left-handed,
to
real good
KRDP.
shooter.
Thanks for
Just
your
had mental
support
issues.
of KRDP.
Nobody knew that.
Mm.
When he came in, everybody was like, ah.
Business sponsorship on KRDP is provided by Mesa Art Center, presenting Andre 3000 from hip hop duo Outkast
What, we at Mesa?
on September 28th.
What?
Andre's new blues
I keep
and
seeing
live
it.
performances are a blend of musical exploration
Man,
and
we
raw
better get
emotion,
tickets
showcasing
for
his
that.
unique artistry. Tickets at mesaartcenter.com.
Hey, I'm Kaja Brown. Join me each week for Hip Rock Nation. It features a soundtrack of alternative, electronic,
Right.
dance,
I'll
neo
love to
soul,
see that.
rap music, and more from around the world. Besides music, I spotlight artists, progressive activists, and cultural leaders while covering topics like
It says
politics,
on the website,
finance,
limited
health,
inventory.
and
but
relationships.
you can't really
So
take it
remember, Hip Rock Nation.
Cal, we better have some damn
Thursday
tickets.
nights from 10 to
Oh, you
midnight.
done?
I said he better. I don't know. That's the first time hearing that.
Broadcasting from the Radio Phoenix studio.
Woo!
What happened?
Talking about some $278. I gotta look at the rest of them. But
Goodness. Hold on. Wow. I would like to see Andre 3000, but those prices, I don't know.
yeah, well, I gotta go scroll through the rest of the prices. That's just the first one that came up.
Calvin, hook us up. Our program
Andre
director.
ain't gonna be doing so fresh and so clean though.
Right.
He's gonna be playing that flute.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So we're back. The Keep 1 Million show. Can you hear me? Oh, there it is. Okay.
All right.
We're back to Keep 1 Million show, 90.7 FM.
Yes.
And I was just getting into college football,
Mhm.
and there's a player I wanted to talk about.
Mhm.
University of Miami quarterback. Hold on a second. I forget his name right now. Let me get his name here. And what's going on with this? So they beat Florida 41-17, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cam Ward is the quarterback, and he could have went to the NFL. He decided to stay. He was 26 of 35, 385 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. But if you've seen the way he played like he was uninterested because he was just that damn good. He was like, I'll throw this sidearm for a touchdown. I'll run for 25 yards and just walk, to the sideline. Yeah, I can, fake left, go right. I can do the. I mean, it was like child's play for him. A man amongst boys. You gotta watch highlights of him. I mean, it was insane. I watched a couple of few minutes of the game, and there's one touchdown where this guy's coming across from right to left in the end zone, and he's rolling right, and he just stops and just chucks it 30 yards like it's nothing in between 2 defenders. I mean, it was NFL throw. Watch out for this kid, Cam Ward.
So who is he playing again?
The University of Miami.
No. Who are they playing?
They're playing Florida.
Florida now. Is Florida?
Florida's not ranked. Florida's not a good team this season.
So I want to wait. What's the schedule look like? I want to wait to see when he's playing somebody that's really good. To say things like that. I'm not saying that he's not good. It's just
what I'm saying is, if you've seen how he played,
yeah, I didn't see
he looked like. I don't want to compare him to Patrick Mahomes, but you know how Patrick Mahomes plays against, like, say, the Raiders or someone where he knows he's just superior to them, and he's just going off the rip and making plays up and running around and still scoring. And that's what he was doing.
Yeah, I've seen Patrick Mahomes throw like no-look touchdown passes.
Yeah,
like
Cam Ward was doing things like that. Now they're not playing a good team. Next game they're playing, I think it's Florida A&T. Did you know? No,
Florida.
Not Florida. Yeah, Florida Atlantic.
Florida Atlantic.
FAMU. FAMU. Florida is a. I think that's a HBCU.
No, FAMU is that's Florida. That's Florida A&M. FAMU.
Florida A&M. Right. Okay. Yeah. That's the. So, like I said,
that'll be another one.
They're gonna play some non-ranked teams, and most of the top 25 plays. Non-ranked teams, their first 2-3 games, and then they get into conference play. So yeah, I'm gonna check that out. But please check out Miami.
Yeah.
Check out Miami. I'm gonna go through some college football games for this weekend, and I'm gonna pick some. The big game is Michigan versus Texas, number 10 versus number 3. Texas number 3. Texas 7.5-point favorite. That's via ESPN Bet. They got a new betting site.
So you said that's Michigan versus Texas?
Michigan versus Texas. Texas number 10. Texas number 3. Michigan's number 10.
What are they playing?
They're playing in Michigan.
Oh, they're playing in they call it the Big House, right?
Yes.
Ooh, man. Michigan traditionally plays well there.
I heard Michigan, new quarterback, new coach.
That's hard. I won't come back to that because I mean, Texas is really good, but man.
Remember Texas was in the Final Four? Yeah. Ayers versus Warren. That's the quarterback duel.
I want to say Texas, man, but they playing in Michigan.
Yep.
And,
they're playing in Michigan.
Texas is part of the SEC now, right?
Yes, Texas SEC.
And Michigan,
Michigan's
of course,
Big-
Big
Big
12, Big 10, whatever they call
Yeah.
call it now, Big 10, whatever. No, I'm gonna go with Texas.
Here's-
I'm
I was
going-
gonna let you think about it. And I'll give you another game, an
Go ahead.
easier game.
All right, go ahead.
Oregon versus Boise State. Oregon's a 21.5
I'm
point
gonna take
favorite.
Boise. What are they playing?
You can take Boise over
No,
Oregon?
I mean, sorry, not Boise.
Oh,
Oregon. Oregon.
Playing in Oregon. They're playing in Oregon.
They're playing in Oregon. Oh, I'm gonna take Oregon.
Okay. So, but going back, you want to go with Texas.
Yeah, because I tend not to like the bet against the SEC in these type of games. But this is their first year in the SEC,
Yeah,
so
but they're not playing the SEC team. Texas playing Michigan.
Oh, Texas is not SEC.
No. Texas is, but they're not playing against the SEC.
No, but what
You know
I'm saying is I don't like to like. When the SEC team is playing like the Big Ten, I don't like to go against the SEC because typically the SEC has their way with the Big Ten. So I'll go with Texas, but I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan pulled that out though, because they played in the Big House.
Right. Now, I will say a sneaky good game is Georgia Tech. They're ranked 23. They beat. Who did they beat? Because they're 2-0. They beat Florida State.
Okay.
And I'm going to come back to Florida State in a minute. Versus Syracuse. At Syracuse. Georgia Tech versus Syracuse. Georgia Tech's a 3-point favorite.
And Georgia Tech, you says ranked 23.
Yes.
And,
Syracuse is not
and
ranked.
that's right. I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech. I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go Georgia Tech as well. I'm gonna go Texas, and then Oregon. And then, let's see, I don't know a betting line on this one, but I was gonna go Arizona NAU. U of A versus Northern Arizona. This should be like a.
Is this in Tucson?
Yes, it is. And it should be. I don't see no betting line, but it should be at least a 25-point spread.
And then beat Arizona State that one time. Like 2 seasons ago. That's when Herm Edwards got fired on the field, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go with U of A. Even though a good friend of mine, his daughter just started at NAU. She just started there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she just started there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say U of A. And one last one, USC plays Utah State at USC. USC is ranked, they're a 28-point favorite.
I'm gonna go
in
with
this game.
I'm gonna use USC.
So, really, this week in college football, there's gonna be some easy picks if y'all some bettors. Okay, and I just laid them out. USC to beat Utah State, Arizona to beat NAU, Oregon to beat Boise State, Texas to beat Michigan, and Georgia Tech to beat Syracuse. We do gotta have one upset. There's always one.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go back to the big upset of the beginning of this season. I just can't find any. Illinois versus Kansas, maybe. Kansas ranked 19. I don't know if you can see that one. Tennessee versus NC State. NC State is ranked 24. Tennessee's ranked 14. Tennessee's a 10-point favorite. Maybe those two teams you get your upset. I'm not sure. I don't think this may not be an upset week for college football. But going back to the Georgia Tech game versus Florida State. Florida State looks so out of sorts. They have, if you remember, DJ Uliangole from Clemson. Remember, he transferred to Oregon State.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even play. Then he transferred to Florida State. Now he's a starting quarterback, and he has 2 losses in a row. They go to Ireland, get beat down by Georgia Tech. Matter of fact, they lost from a field goal, right? But they play against Boston College at home and get beat down 28-13. Now Florida State, coming off that ACC championship, everybody crying. And I'm gonna admit, I was one of them saying that they should have been in the Final Four.
Yeah, I was one of them too.
But their quarterback was injured and whatnot.
You know,
You remember, now they have a new quarterback.
what happened to the old one?
I don't know if he's still injured. I'll have to look into that. But
Okay.
DJ Uliangle is their quarterback, and he can't throw at all. He's I mean, oh my God, he's thrown into the stands. They get beat down by Boston College, and they were a team that possibly could have, they were one of the favorites to win the ACC. And this year, the first year of the 12-team playoff, if you win your conference, you're an automatic bid. There's 4 automatic bids, which is the ACC, the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12.
Those champions. Okay.
Right. Those regular season champions, when they go to that championship game, they're in, right? And then there's
8 spots left.
8 spots left. I think there's 3 other champions and then like 5 at-large bids, right? Florida State are 0-2 now. At the start of the season, they're done for. They can't even get an at-large bid. I mean, it's crazy because
the ACC they have a championship game, so they can still get there and win that though, right?
being down 0-2 in the I mean, they haven't had a conference game. No, they had a conference game. They lost to Georgia Tech, so they're 0-1 in conference already. Conference play technically hasn't started yet, so they're 0-1 conference. They're 0-2 overall. They would have to have one of the biggest turnarounds in college football history. There's only a couple teams that turned around, but they did not make a championship or playoff or nothing like that. A few teams only did that coming down from 0-2.
Didn't LSU do that like years ago? They was like 0-2, and they ended up being.
I don't think they're 0-2.
Okay.
I think the other team that did was Michigan. They ended up being 9-4 or something like that.
I remember that. That was
the Appalachian State.
Yeah, that
Appalachian
year.
State beat them.
Beat them, and then the next week they lost another game. And then
they lost another game, right?
But they still ended up being 9-4, good season. Yeah.
Right. They won like 8 in a row. The only thing that can they do something like that, go 8, 9 wins in a row, and a bunch of chaos has to happen. Clemson has to lose big. North Carolina has to lose big. Miami has to lose big because those are the teams in their conference. And right now, Miami looks like the best team in the ACC right now. Clemson, don't count them out at all.
Can't count Dabo out.
Right. Update on this game: it's 20-13 Kansas City. It looks like Kansas City. They just scored a touchdown. Pacheco with the 1-yard run. So it's 20-10 Kansas City. Top of the beginning of the third quarter.
Patrick Mahomes is Lamar Jackson's kryptonite. It's like he can't beat the guy. And it's a lot of quarterbacks like that though. But for Lamar, it's like, dang, you just cannot beat this guy, can you? You know, I mean, at least with Joe Burrow, you'd be like, I think Joe Burrow has a running record against him. No, that's Josh Allen. Josh Allen has a running record in the regular season. He has
Exactly.
In the postseason, that's a whole other story. But Pat Mahomes is that dude.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, dude.
He really is. And it looks like they're not stopping. They're on off. all 6 cylinders and whatnot. We're gonna go to break. We're gonna come right back. We're gonna get into some fantasy football as this game is just starting. If you have Pacheco, or if you have Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes on your squad, man, you're looking good. Even with Lamar Jackson losing, he has some stats that can get you some points. So we're gonna come right back with more Keep 1 Million Show.
Yes, sir.
Each month, we incur many expenses to bring you this independent community radio voice, and we need your financial support. There are 5 different ways that you can support KRDP. First, you can tune in and listen to our programming on 90.7 FM in the East Valley, via TuneIn, or by telling Alexa, play KRDP 90.7 FM. Second, you can become a one-time donor. Third, you can become a sustaining monthly donor. Fourth, if you own or are associated with a business, your company can become a business sponsor. Finally, you can donate to KRDP via the Fry's Rewards Community Partners Program. When joining the Fry's program, use code CD289 to designate a portion of your food purchases as a donation to KRDP. Thanks for your support of KRDP.
This is the Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean Pig.
And we're on 90.7 FM, KRDP.
Yes, sir.
You go to listen to number 2, KRDP.com. And what we're getting into, NFL has just started. We're on the second week coming up of college football. And when it comes to the NFL, fantasy football is like the biggest thing right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just started. So you got the game on, 20-10, Kansas City versus Baltimore in Kansas City. I'll give you some stats here.
Yeah.
Where you have Lamar Jackson, 13 for 19, 105 yards. Patrick Mahomes, 12 for 18, 188 yards and an interception.
Oh, yeah.
Lamar Jackson also 8 carries for 63 yards. Derrick Henry, 8 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 1 carry, 21 yards and a touchdown. And Isaiah Pacheco, 6 carries, 18 yards and a touchdown. Rasheed Rice, 5 receptions for 80 yards. And Zay Flowers, 5 receptions for 39 yards. Or 37 yards. Isaiah Likely, 4 receptions for 38 yards.
Good receptions, but not a lot of yards. For wide receivers with this fantasy stuff, it's good to get the catches. You play, most leagues are PPR, points per reception. So you get the 5 points there, but then you only get 1 point per every 10 yards. So that's 3 points, so that's 8 points, and it might be like 8 point something because you got like 7 yards, whatever. Then you like, but the other guy, Richie, he got 80 yards, so that's 8 points plus 5. That's 11, right? No, 13, sorry, 13 points right there. So it depends on how your league is scored and everything. In one league I'm in, it's a running back league, so you really want running backs because they get a lot of points. It just depends. You just gotta know how your league is scored. Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, they have pretty good games. They have good games for quarterbacks, but it's also like you just gotta know how to look at the because this is a science tool. You gotta look at defenses, who they playing, who they traditionally play well against. So Patrick Mahomes is a play every week. I believe Lamar Jackson is a play every week. You know, but sometimes, like, let's take Jalen Hurts, for example. You know he doesn't do good against blitzing teams. So if you got a blitzing defense, you might want to sit him down.
Mhm.
You know, stuff like that. And there's other little tricks as well. Like, for example, I don't know if you know this trick, Dwayne. I'm gonna hip you to this. It's a trick that you could use. In one of my leagues, they won't let you do this. It's not dirty. It's like what you could do is you could take a player off the waiver wire that's injured reserve. For example, you have the running back from New Orleans, not Kamara, the other guy, Keandre Miller, I believe is his name. Or you could take T.J. Hockenson, and T.J. Hockenson might not play for like another 4 weeks. The same thing with the New Orleans running back. So you take him off the waiver wire, and you put him in your injured reserve slot, and you just wait for him to come back. Now, in one league I'm in, they won't let you do that. They said the only people you can put in your injured reserve is people that you originally drafted. You can't take them off the waiver wire and do it. But in my other 2 leagues,
Okay.
you can
do that.
You can do that. You know, it's other things like, for example, if you got a defense playing on Monday night and you already winning, like let's say you winning by and the person you playing, they don't have anybody playing on Monday, and let's say you winning by like three points. You could take your defense that's playing on Monday night and put them on the bench. You already won the game because your defense can mess around and give you negative points and lose the game for you. Another trick, that's one trick. There's 2 tricks right there. What other tricks? There's 2 tricks that I use. Can't think of any more right now. It'll probably come to me later. But it's just little things you could do.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. You know,
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to wondering, you know, if a player has a hot hand, you know, the game before, and the next you know is just cold the next game. Like
you gotta know your players. Cause
Yeah,
some players are like that. Like Drake,
Yeah.
I have Drake London. Drake London have an awesome game one week and then goose egg the next week.
Right.
So you just gotta know who you're
Zay
dealing with.
Flowers.
Zay Flowers. His rookie year he was like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna be this year.
Yeah.
So, but like so consistent players like Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, they gonna get their points. Wide receivers, they gonna get it.
Exactly.
Running backs. You know,
Well, you say if you have Derrick Henry, you're looking good.
yeah, you're looking
right
good.
now.
Derrick Henry, Pacheco,
Yeah, right.
those top tier running backs, you're pretty good. Like Alvin Kamara, he's getting older, so I don't know exactly how they're going to use him anymore because he's getting up there in years.
Mhm.
You know, the tip I was thinking about was the flex.
You're
A
right.
lot of times, people play their flex on Thursdays. You might want to sometimes wait until like play your flexes on Sunday or Monday because that flex position can really help you.
Yeah.
So it's just the way you work your roster. Now it's not something. Now I've been playing fantasy since like 06, and I only won 2 championships, and that was last year.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can take it with a grain of salt, but I have made the playoffs. I have done well in years. So,
Okay. Well, yeah, there you go for all your fantasy football players. You know, there's a little bit of some knowledge right there, and we're gonna go with some picks here.
let's go.
For NFL. So Friday we have Eagles Packers, first game ever in Brazil, South America. Philly's a 2-point favorite. Who
Stay
you
away
got?
from the brothels. I'm gonna take Philly.
Okay.
Take the Eagles.
I'm also take Philly. The next game. What did I just do? Next game we're looking at Bears Titans. The Bears are 3.5 favorite at home. With all this Bears hype, how are they gonna come out? And you know the Titans a lot of turnaround over there with them.
I'm gonna take the Bears, but who's quarterbacking for Tennessee? Is it Will Levis?
Yes, he's the starting
I'm gonna
quarterback.
take Chicago. I was just curious
Okay.
about that.
The next game I seen, that's 2 games, so 3 would be. I like this Dolphins Jaguars game
Where are they playing?
in Miami.
That's an interesting game.
Yeah,
Interesting game. I'm gonna take Miami, but that's an interesting
Miami's
game.
3.5 point favorite.
I'm gonna take Miami, but that's an interesting game because they could lose that. It's interesting. And I'm interested in seeing what Trevor Lawrence is going to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the Dolphins on that.
This Trevor Lawrence third
They're at
year.
home.
This is third year.
Yeah, it is. He got paid too.
Yeah, he got paid
Yeah,
already.
He got paid. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
How long are those
200 some million.
How long are those
He's
rookie
in
deals?
his 4th year, I think.
No. Oh, he's in his fourth year.
It's 4 with an option.
Okay, so they pay him in the fourth and they extend him out. Okay,
right.
all right.
Remember the option? They can franchise tag him and all that stuff.
But a lot of teams have been paying
Right.
their guys. Yeah. Or
Right.
at least the quarterbacks.
Then you have Texans versus Colts. Very interesting game. Colts coming off, getting back Anthony Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
Texans coming off that division title.
Mm-hmm.
And
Winning the first playoff game.
right, just adding Diggs and all that. Who do you have?
Where they playing at?
Playing in Indy.
Well, I'm gonna take C.J. Stroud and boys.
Yeah. I think Texas is gonna win that game, but I want to see what Anthony Richardson has. What's he got going on? How he's gonna play fair, and coming back from injury. Then this is really good. Rams versus Lions in Detroit. Detroit is a 4.5 point favorite. Once again, Stafford going back to Detroit. Remember the playoff game? Lions beat the Rams.
They beat them in Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lions beat them. Yep. Remember going to the NFC Championship game.
Hold up. They was going to the end of.
Remember last season they played them in the playoffs.
Yeah, they played them in the playoffs. Oh, so
The Lions beat them.
they beat them. Yeah, I know that. They beat them. So the Lions went to the NFC Championship game.
Remember they lost to San Francisco.
Yeah, that's right. They
When
did.
San Francisco lost San Francisco.
I remember Detroit lost to San Francisco. I wasn't sure if it was that at the championship game. Okay, yeah, I remember. You know what? I believe it's gonna be a good game, but I'm gonna take Detroit.
I like Detroit as well. Yeah, I'm gonna say Detroit. And then the Monday night game, huge game because you have San Francisco at home versus the Jets with Aaron Rodgers' return. 4.5 point favorite is San Francisco.
You know I like to take an upset. So you know what?
You gonna go to Jets?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Jets.
Ooh.
I'm gonna take an upset.
Jets.
I'm gonna take
Jets.
because I didn't take up. Really, I don't believe I took an upset in other picks.
Right.
So
No.
I'm gonna take the Jets.
I'm gonna go with San Fran.
Okay, yeah.
I got all favorites. So we have the Eagles beating the Packers, Bears beating the Titans, Dolphins beating the Jags, Texans beating the Colts, Lions beating the Rams, and I have Niners beating the Jets. You have Jets beating the Niners.
Yes.
So there's your picks right there. This is the spreads based off ESPN Bet, and please go to 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a gambling problem.
Yeah.
I have to say that.
Yes.
And I get the right website for the Arizona website. So next week, make sure to have that disclaimer. Now, it is 20-10. Kansas City versus Baltimore. We have one last topic. Oh, you know what? I had to say, rest in peace to Rich Homie.
Rich Homie, yeah, I got that in my feed. I saw that. I really like Rich Homie Quan. I like him a lot. He goes some type of way. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. He had some good hits.
Yeah.
He had some good hits.
I liked him. I didn't have a problem. Like, it's a lot of people say, because I'm a hip hop head, and I'll be like, oh, you like this guy? You like? Cause I like the Migos. I'm like, oh. I tell people that I rate these guys and I like them with their compatriots, with the type of style that they are. I'll be like, okay, I like it. The beats, I like it. Now, if you trash, you trash. Yeah, I'll say that. I don't care what it is. Like, I think Lil Nas X is trash. I don't think I just don't. It ain't because he's LGBTQ and none of that. I just think he's trash. I like the one song from what's that dude's name? He had the song First Class. First Class. I forget white dude. Forget his name right now. It slips me, but I like that one song.
Yeah.
And everything. But Jack Harlow. So man, Rich Homie Quan, they said it was, when I looked at it, it said suspected drug overdose. So you know, I tell, oh my goodness, to stay off the drugs, the pills, and all that. Come on, y'all.
Right. Yeah, he had. I guess he was on some podcast just a few days prior, and talking about trying to get back good with some of the guys he was with back in the day with Young Thug, and where they had that Rich Gang label. I think that was with Baby. Cash Money, and you know, that's where he had some of his only hits, but they're huge hits back then. You know, Type Away and Walk Through. I mean, there was some club hits back when everybody was clubbing. I mean, you know, I don't know how it is nowadays, but yeah, rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan.
Yeah, man.
And one last thing, Sha'Carri Richardson gets revenge as she beats the Olympic gold medalist Julianne Alfred in a Diamond League 100-meter race.
Yeah.
I didn't know the league was still going on. The season was still going on after the Olympics.
Yeah, they have that. They have the Prefontaine and everything, and it still goes on. And people don't realize these are professional runners. So they get paid. They get paid like whoever they sign with, sneaker people they sign with, fly them out there. You know, they house them. They get a per diem. They get a per diem and all that. And if they win a race, they get a particular amount of money. So I don't know if they get it from the Diamond League or they get it from I think they get it from the Diamond League. So first, second, and third place, they'll get something. And
I'm gonna have to find out when's the end of that season and the champions and all that.
It does end at one point and it starts back up.
Right.
But she beat her. We all know that it's not. She was traded in for a gold medal and everything, but it is a little bit of a satisfaction because there was some things that went on with that. But I haven't heard Sha'Carri talk about it because it would sound like she's making excuses and nobody wants to seem like they're making excuses. And I don't want to make excuses for her because Julianne Alfred is the gold medalist, but Sha'Carri runs best when the world is against her. Like,
let's talk about what happened in the Olympics because we did talk about it. Two Jamaican runners did not run in the 100-meter final because of the rules changed overnight. As they said, they're supposed to be at the village to be transported to the facility to get to the practice facility. Some of these women are such superstars that they have their own
transportation.
Not just transportation, but they live somewhere else outside of the village.
It's a lot of NBA players do that. Yeah.
So they are living somewhere else outside of the village, and once they got to the practice facility, they couldn't get in. They had to walk all the way around. They said it was like an hour.
Yeah, it's like an hour walk
to go to the other side and then go to where they needed to go. So the two Jamaican runners declined to race. Sha'Carri Richardson did, being late with no warm up, no practice, and still got the silver medal.
Yeah. To go a little deeper, it happened in the semifinals.
Semis, okay.
So Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price and Shericka Jackson just pulled out. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price has been having like like little having hamstring issues. So, and she's 37 years old. So she was like, I didn't get to properly warm up. She's not trying to hurt herself. So she just pulled out. Sharika pulled out of that and the 200. Sha'Carri decided to run. She ran in the semis, qualified for the finals, and then still won a silver medal. So there was a lot of things going on with that.
Yeah, and now it seems like she redeemed herself with that.
Yeah,
So
you can say that.
right. Definitely gonna follow. Make sure I'm gonna check out the rest of the Diamond League. If people don't know, the Diamond League is the track and field professional league. So if you want to watch Sha'Carri or anybody else, Gabby, Noah Lyles, that's where they're at. We're gonna be right back with the next hour of the Keep 1 Million show.
Mesa Art Center presenting Andre 3000 from hip hop duo
He made it right there.
Outkast on September 28th. Andre's new Blue Sun live performances are a blend of musical exploration and raw emotion, showcasing his unique artistry. Tickets at mesaartcenter.com.
Hey, I'm Kaja Brown. Join me each week for Hip Rock Nation. It features a soundtrack of alternative, electronic, dance, neo-soul, rap music, and more.
All right, thanks
From
for
around the
watching.
world. Besides music, I spotlight
Peace out.
artists, progressive activists, and cultural leaders while covering topics like politics, finance, health, and relationships. So remember, Hip Rock Nation. Thursday nights from 10 to midnight on KRDP 90.7 FM.
Broadcasting from the Radio Phoenix studios in downtown Phoenix. You're tuned to KRDP, your home for jazz, blues, R&B, and soul.
It's a fit.
KRDP,
Yeah.
Apache Junction, Goldfield, Ghost Town, Phoenix, 90.7 FM in the East Valley. and
Man, Holland
worldwide.
stopped this.